Welcome to my channel, and this is the second video that I'm shooting now, and I really wanted to be really interactive, and that's why I want to start it with a little secret. So this is me 2 years back, and I just completed my class 12 examinations that time, and there was a time when I first tasted the flavor of failure for the first time. My class 12th exams were decent, but then my entrances did not go really well, and that's why all of the people that I was preparing with, all of my peers, they got into like premier institutes like IITs and NITs, and I on the other hand was not getting any decent branch anywhere. So what I chose is that there was a really tough time for me, but then I backed myself up, and I went to Kota just to give myself another shot, and then try and do it this time, work harder this time, and then make it. And after I went to Kota, the entire place, I'm from Assam, okay, so the entire place was new to me. The entire vibe of the place, I didn't really sink into the place straight through, and it took me like around a month or two to get habituated to that place, and that was a different kind of toll on itself. But then eventually I found like two of my friends, like two gems of my life, two of my best friends, and things were getting better. but then things again became really hazy and stuff, and that was initiated by losing a loved one who isn't there anymore. And then came like my followed by my coaching grades not being very nice, and one of my friend going through a very tough time, and I couldn't be myself in front of him because I didn't want him to take my stuff along, and it'll be even more heavier for him. So that became a really difficult part of my life at that point of time. But then I somehow managed to it, and somehow dragged through it, gave my entrances, got into a decent college, and I somehow dragged through that phase. It became a almost 6-month thing where I was kind of healing up through that loss, and then my not up to my expectations performance and everything. That was the time when I started seeing professional people, and I started volunteering in places. I started volunteering in blood donation camps, in for teaching the underprivileged kids. I went on to teach talk to the elderly people in old age homes and everything. And then what happened, there was this one place where I went, and where we speak, where we pool in together, where people who are not feeling very fine, who are having mental health issues, anxiety issues, going through depression or anything as such, we talk to each other. And there I literally had so fruitful and meaningful conversations. And then what I realized is that that was a place where I could speak about human experiences without a fear of being judged. There was a place where I opened up in front of people with all of my vulnerabilities. And there was a time when I realized that it's so important to speak about mental health issues. And there are people who listen to you. One of the worst things that you could do when people come and approach you is tell that it's their fault. It's not their fault. I've been through times when people come and tell, I've had such experiences, people coming telling me these experiences, that people come to them and then they say, oh, why don't you try being more positive? Man, thanks, fuck, I did not think of that. That is the one thing that I did not think of, that I did not try, man. Thanks for saying me. They come and tell that, why don't you try going out? Oh, do you think that cleaning onto my bed is the only thing that I wish to do? No, man, I don't. I also want to go out, I also want to be happy, but I'm not being able to. So please don't say that it's your fault. It's not my fault. We try. People try. You have tried. I know, man. You have tried. What I'd like to tell you is that even I know like 50% of you watching this video must be going through, in this time of pandemic, must be going through something not very fine. So what I would tell you is that, speak, open up honestly to people. And I know this brings in the, risk of being vulnerable to people who will not apparently understand you at all points of time. But then when you openly be honest to people, you'll find people who will come and tell you, yeah, I went through something very similar and I understand. And they'll empower you so much. Don't fear vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities are the thing. When you are vulnerable, you're stronger. When you cry, when you express, you're stronger. You're more human. You're more human when you express. And I want you to express. When someone comes and tells you that he or she is not going through a very good time, don't lie, man. Don't tell them that, oh, you're there for them. Don't tell them that if you're not there. Don't tell them that you're there for them and then not show up. Don't do that. That's very disheartening. There have been times when I've reached out to many people, and I have had such experiences. So don't be that person for anyone. If you want to tell them that I'm there for you, tell them that I'm there for you, because I know how it feels like to, go through this phase. I know how it feels like to lose a loved one. I know how it feels like to face failure. I know how it feels like to face rejection. I know that. And that is why I'll be there for you. And that's like an entirely different thing. And that gives so much of empowerment. That's all for today. Make sure you hit the like button, do subscribe, hit the bell icon, and do comment below and tell me about your thoughts on this video and what you understand about mental health and any of your experiences if you had as such. Thank you. Cheers.